Welcome to the American Dream Show. I am your sparkling host, Joanna Concepcion, with McGrath Realty, selling real estate from New York to Connecticut. Today, we're currently in my hometown, about to jump on the Metro North to head down to One Police Plaza to meet New York City Police Commissioner Edward Caban, the first Puerto Rican to hold this position. This is part one of a little taste of Puerto Rican culture in New York. Let's go. Vámonos. We are here with the first Puerto Rican Police Commissioner of New York City, Edward Caban, born and raised in the Bronx.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here. It's an honor for me to sit next to you, another proud Hispanic.
Commissioner, please tell us about your journey from becoming a police officer to becoming a commissioner in 2023.
So when you talk about a person's journey, when you ask them, why did you want to become a New York City police officer? Who inspired you? And for me, it was very easy. My father was a New York City police officer, and he would always come home. He would always talk about the fond memories that he had in his job and how every day that he went to work, he had the capability of changing someone's life. And to me, and not only me, because there was 5 siblings, and 4 of us became New York City police officers, just following my father's footsteps. That's what inspired me. Back in '91, I started off as a regular police officer, working in the streets of South Bronx, in the 4 precinct, and throughout my career, I elevated myself, making ranks of sergeant, lieutenant, captain, deputy inspector, inspector, chief. And just to me, the great things about working in New York City, going around to each community. And one of the things that I loved was, remember being a rookie cop, and every officer that you talk to when they come out of the academy, first thing they want to do is they want to get into R&P. They want to drive around in the police cars and help solve crimes. To me, it was more important that I walk a beat, that I talk to people. You know, that's one of the things I've learned throughout my career, that no matter what community you go into, no matter what borough I worked, what I learned is that when I talk to people, they'll always tell you, no one's looking for a brilliant mind that speaks. They're looking for a compassionate heart that listens, someone who could help them with their problems, someone who understands their problems and willing to help them. And that's the police department that I want to lead.
So, Commissioner, as the first Puerto Rican police commissioner of New York City, what advice or guidance would you give a young kid to follow into your steps?
So I'd like to give them the advice that my father gave to me. You know, looking back when I came on the job, or even when my father came on the job, where there wasn't a lot of Hispanic officers, and he wanted to make change, you wanted to do things for your members, for fellow Hispanics, but you couldn't, because you didn't have a seat at the table. So he always told me the only way to get a seat at the table, the only way that you're going to make change is by taking the exams. You take the police exams, you rise up to the ranks, you get to the top, you're able to affect change. Whether it's special victims, where you're helping people who are special victims, whether it's working in canine, whether it's working transit, mounted, medical division, where we have nurses, psychologists. There are a lot of ways to affect change.
So, Commissioner, how does it feel to be a role model for your community, your friends, and your family?
So, role model, what defines a role model? So when I first got sworn in as the police commissioner in New York City, the first Hispanic in 180 years, I go back to when I came on the job in 1991. And in any precinct that you go to, they have leadership photos hanging on the wall. And you know what all those pictures had in common? Not one of them looked like me. I didn't know whether I belonged because I had no one to aspire to be like. So now, when you look at the pictures on the wall, they reflect the diversity of New York City. And I hope that any fellow Hispanic coming on the job could look at that wall now and say, hey, one day I could be the police commissioner of New York, because I gave them the opportunity.
So the National Puerto Rican Day Parade is this weekend. What is your favorite part of the parade?
The whole day. You know, especially being the police commissioner of the city of New York and knowing how important it is to Hispanics Puerto Ricans, the pride that they have in their communities, going out there and just enjoying the festivities, the music, the dance, the culture, the food. We embrace everything, and that's a huge part, especially in New York City. And the New York City Police Department is going to do our part to make sure that everyone is safe.
So, Commissioner, as you know, your wife and I both kick cancer's butt. So I want to promote hope for those families out there. What advice would you give to those families that are dealing with someone that's battling cancer?
So they use words like survivor, but the one I like best is a warrior. Nothing is more harder than being a breast cancer survivor. She was everything that I aspired to be. She was my aspiration. She was my inspiration. And if I had 50,000 officers that were exactly like her, I'd have an amazing police department. So to all those who are battling breast cancer, you are warriors, you are survivors. There is nothing that you can't do. There is nothing that you cannot overcome. And I'm honored and proud to sit alongside you, knowing what journey that you came from, because I know, because my wife did it too.
Oh. Just got in from the city. Thank you for joining us today in the American Dream Show. I am your sparkling host, Joanna Concepcion, with McGrath Realty, selling real estate from New York to Connecticut. Stay tuned for part 2 of a little taste of the Puerto Rican culture here in New York. Remember to always conquer, shine, and sparkle every day. Adios!